case anyone was wondering about that last one, the apple, how that apple turned out with that last video, it was good as hell, pun intended. The apple of forbidden knowledge was good as hell, but it's actually a teach. It's actually a lesson is that an apple, you actually can't intend to enjoy an apple because you have an idea about what an apple would be like from the outside, what it would be like to everyone. I think most people enjoy a crisp apple. I enjoy a crisp, juicy apple, and you may anticipate that that would be the case in fall, where likely the most crisp, juicy apple you experienced before would be fall. Likely, maybe if you had one like from an orchard. I had a friend that I referenced on this channel a couple of times, who was really strong around athletics, and like his mom was really interesting. She taught me she said some cool stuff that I haven't heard other people say before. She's like, yeah, one of my gifts, because I said in this that I channel that I think everyone has a like a dark, or no, I was actually saying to a family member, I think that everyone has a dark gift, which is that so everyone has different kinds of gifts. Like some of your gifts are to help yourself, to help others, to make it through things, to make others make it through things, to make it hard for yourself, to make it hard for other people, stuff like that. We all have like a mix of that because life is balanced. So like I had one I had there I was when I was a bus driver. Some of the bus drivers would be like, "Yeah, man, that kid is the devil, man." Not to be derogatory to students, but they're just saying that, yeah, that kid is actually like manipulate, like a certain children can exert influence over other children, like to make it difficult to manage them, and they can even challenge a chaperone or a school official in terms of wit and cleverness, and like really create like a problem, like with the dynamics at play. And I was telling that might actually be a dark gift that child has. I said to them is that that's still a form of giftedness, having your way with other people, whether you do so like righteously or not. You can still appreciate that as a gift. But then another, so that might be like a dark gift. And then your more like sublime, benign things would be like a white gift or a blessing. But then you might have like a gray area, which are like certain gifts that allow you to do things that other people can't stomach. So for me, one thing that I cannot stand is looking for things that I've lost. I'm pretty good at misplacing things, but I can't stand to look for something when I don't know where it is, because I feel like I'm wasting effort. Like it's I don't think frustrating is the word, but it's just like I think that it's a level of, so there's patience to sit through something, but there's a deeper patience to go through something that takes effort, that's also daunting and endless. That's actually a deeper form of patience. So normally I would appreciate myself as having patience, but I have a family member that since the person was young, he can sniff out and find damn near anything if there had been something misplaced, and he's not daunted by doing that. Like our family, we would always be misplacing different stuff, and it's like, oh, give it to him and he'll find it where it is. And damn it, if he doesn't find out exactly where something had been misplaced that whole time, he has a gift like that. But he's patient to do that. So like at different times, he's just been outstandingly patient to look for things for other people that they've misplaced, and it's actual like a form of grit. And actually, I would have to say, as much as I give my as much as I sometimes am challenged and daunted by my own brother, I think that maybe our brothers are supposed to challenge us in the deepest sense of that word, and they're not supposed to give us a pat on the back, because we'd be weak as hell if our brothers would give us a pat on the back. What would we be doing in nature if we want to actually stand up for ourselves against other groups potentially, or people within our group that would create a problem? We need to be going up against and scrimmaging and grappling uh, um, and what's the word I'm looking for? Um, we need to be uh um like what's the word, like when you shadow box, or you need to be there's a word for like when you fight as training, but you need to be doing that all the time in order to some things you don't grasp as much when you're engaging with something speaking, but when you're in other contexts you would have it out of the tip of your tongue. But sparring. So we would, in nature, we'd need to be sparring one another constantly to actually stand up to formidable foes. My friends growing up, we did that a lot in sports, and we got to be pretty strong athletes. My friends in the Southwest and the North, that we both got around to doing that. But me and my brother have always been a little bit at odds at times, we love each other and we've done things for each other that are significant, but we've always kind of been at odds. But somehow coming out of it, we're stronger for it. So that might actually be very natural to be at odds. But I would have to say he may be the most patient person I know, just because he's patient to sift through and look for something that a family member or someone else has lost by being disorganized, and he doesn't have a cop an attitude about it and helpful about it. But then this other woman, my friend's mom, she would be like, yeah, one thing about me is that I can sit through anything. We lost her, she's no longer with us, but she'd say, one thing about me is that I can sit through almost anything, like an auction, a church service. I can sit there, I can sit through anything. Just by her saying that and showing me that that's possible, I got to a point in life where I think that some of the statements I've made about time being as a function of reference, if you could really appreciate the essence of what I'm attempting to convey with that, it helps to be present of mind. And according to Arthur Avalon, where there's no mind, there's no limitation. Where there's presence of mind, there's presence of circumstance, patience and circumstance. So I came aware that had been possible through his mother, and that might be like a gray form of gift, which is something just very mundane, but also difficult for being mundane that we're gifted with, and that would be hers. But those are both a form of patience between her and my brother, but different. Maybe hers would be the passive form of patience, and his would be the active form of patience, par excellence. That's actually very masculine. To be patient is masculine, but to be active and patient, that's very masculine right there. That just occurred to me. But she would do cool things like take us out to an orchard to do apples, like in the fall where we're at. There's like a lot of farming area, and that's some of the most delicious. You actually taste something of life of what life is when you taste an apple like that. That's intended. That's nature. That's a bounty and blessing from nature. That's completely well balanced and reciprocal to what and who you are. That being of the earth and you being of the earth, and a real blessing and sensation of joy that is balanced and we could appreciate as intended by nature, without sounding arbitrary with the word intention. Because we always have free will at all time, but it's like meeting nature somewhere, and nature, because nature doesn't force. If it was intentional, nature would be forcing the apple down your throat. That'd be an intentional blessing with intention. But nature gives of itself freely, and we may come to appreciate it if that's what we choose and we're attracted to and enticed by. But you actually can't plan the experience of an apple. And as much as you would appreciate an apple from the outside or try to anticipate or come to a delicious apple, it's kind of hit or miss whether that's the most delicious apple or a very kind of flat, almost mushy or a little bit gross apple that you can appreciate is not ripe. But that's actually how a lot of days are. So a lot of our day, you can want to have a good day and you can set yourself up for having a good day, which may factor into your day. But really the experience of a day is something like an apple, where it can be completely blessing, nutritious, and serve you well for quite a while. Or it can be like a mushy apple, and there's actually not a lot that we can do about that. But I think I didn't finish that last one where I was saying that with that fable of the shop owner that was approached by the bird of enlightenment, according to Osho. The Order Osho has a lot of great stories like that, and on Audible and also on YouTube. He was saying that what the shop owner did is that he just got a little bit fed up, but like in a positive way of being fed up, where I usually don't like positive or negative because that's polarizing, but as though one's better than the other. But just that he came back into his work, he fell back into his work, such that he forgot about enlightenment, and in becoming so engrossed with his work, the top of his hatchet flew off and struck the bird without the bird having anticipated, because it hadn't been intentional. It was indirect consequence of him doing the best that he could, and he actually won a taste of enlightenment with that. And that's a deeper message that can refer to my last video, is that if life is counterintuitive, such as the closer we approach an experience that we'd like to have or would want to have, the more it evades us. When we fall into our line of work, in our strong suit, in our wheelhouse, and our interest in our pursuit, as we can appreciably engage with something, what is to us within our choice, some things can come to us more so unconscious. And if you think about how many things would stifle or interfere with or skew the actual dynamics of our cause and our cause and effect, maybe the only way to come back to a sensation, a blessing that is possible for us, would be to fall into our work. So I did another video like trust the work, but that actually might constitute forbidden knowledge as I'm speaking like this, because there are so many interests that would have us not have what we could have.